newest general manager of the Houston Rockets. In the last episode, or should I say the first episode, first off, if you miss it, go back, check it out, leave a like, leave a comment. In the first episode, NBA draft, we drafted Jalen Suggs. Now, we continue the offseason as we look towards free agency. The question is, who are we going to get? Because in all honesty, the way this roster is looking, we just might not get anyone. I'm just saying. But anyways, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? This is a Prince YouTube PS Compulsion signing in here, aka Prince Anthony, aka Lou Towers. Let's keep the rebuild going. Yo, I hate doing recaps, but y'all don't watch my videos, so I gotta do the recaps anyways. Jalen Green went number 1 to the San Antonio Spurs. Jonathan Kuminga, number 2 to OKC. Cade Cunningham, Detroit Pistons. The New York Knicks, Evan Mobley. The 5th overall pick in this year's NBA draft, Jalen Suggs, drafted by our Houston Rockets. So going to the rookie signings, of course, I'm going to sign him to his 2-year deal. 2 years, $14 million. It's kind of a lot of money, but he is a top 5 pick, so doesn't necessarily matter. And like I said, if you guys missed the first episode, here's the trade that we made. We had to trade up to that 5th pick, bro. We gave up Daniel House, Eric Gordon, and a bunch of picks that we don't necessarily need. And we got Jalen Suggs. An essential skill right here, improve healing, help our players heal faster whenever they're injured, whatever. In terms of the skills, I don't think I showed you guys the skills, but I had to unlock chit chat with players, chit chat with the staff. You know, that's the normal skills that everybody should have unlocked. And I also got favorable destination. I had to get that skill. That's one of the most essential skills of them all when being a GM. Favorable destination allows the GM to sign more big name free agents. Jae'Sean Tate, bringing him back definitely, but Avery Bradley, I'm sorry, we're not bringing you back, bro. Avery Bradley is 30 years old already. Last time I remember, he was playing on like the 08 Celtics. You're right, he is that old. Anyways, let's see, qualifying offers. All of these players could go except for Sterling Brown. I might be interested in bringing him back depending on what we do during free agency. But yeah, everybody else could definitely go. I don't really care about them too much. But now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for free agency. And looking at the free agency class, same as always, Kawhi Leonard, DeMar DeRozan, those are the main 2 free agents. But there's a lot of good, decent role players that we could get on this team. I mean, next season might be another rebuilding season. Okay, so next year, our roster is probably not going to be that much better. But I like the young talent that we have on the team right now. John Wall. In the last episode, in the debut episode of the series, first episode, you guys told me that I should trade John Wall. A lot of you guys were saying for Emmanuel quickly, but I was thinking about keeping him, but then, yeah, I recently just decided I'm going to trade him. I mean, he's making way too much money. 44 mil, that's way too much, bro. I'm sorry. I really want to keep John Wall on the team, but if his contract was expiring at the end of this season, I would have kept him, but yeah, definitely it's time for him to go. No, this is a bit disappointing, but looking at the trades we could get for John Wall now, it's not the same as the trades we could have gotten before. We only got 7 offers right now. Dylan Brooks, I kind of like that deal. In all honesty, Dylan Brooks is a very underrated player, and the Knicks are trying to give me Mitchell Robinson. Why do the Knicks never want Mitchell Robinson, bro? Like, that's crazy. Okay, I'm really interested in doing this deal. I just freestyled this deal. I made it up. I know the Grizzlies were willing to give me Dylan Brooks for like John Wall, and they was including somebody else in the deal, but I feel like this deal really works out because John Wall in Memphis, he could play that mentor role for somebody like John Morant. Definitely is going to work out. And for us, trying to get back a player like Dylan Brooks, and then on top of that, Grayson Allen and a second round, I feel like that's pretty fair. Grayson Allen, Dylan Brooks, a second rounder for John Wall. Let's make this deal happen, Memphis. I know y'all want John Wall. We like what we have as far as this trade is concerned. Okay, I think this might work. Tyus Jones and Dylan Brooks for John Wall and a first rounder from the Brooklyn Nets. They hit me with a counter offer. They want a second rounder thrown in, and they're going to give me John Conchar. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But I feel like this is a pretty good deal. In all honesty, I'm really interested in getting Dylan Brooks on the team. He is a very underrated player. I'm going to make the deal. Why not? So, ladies and gentlemen, I accepted the deal for the Memphis Grizzlies. John Wall is going to Memphis. Welcome to the Houston Rockets, Dylan Brooks. Listen, I'm totally okay if a lot of you might not like this deal, but I feel like It's a realistic deal that works out for the Memphis Grizzlies. They still have their core players. John Wall gets to mentor Ja Morant. It just works, bro. In my opinion, it just works. So now looking at the roster right now, I feel like we have a good amount of young players. That's really what I was aiming for, but DJ Augustine definitely has to go. Something tells me during player progression, his stats are going to like take another dive. He's 33, $7 million. Not going to do it. Should I take this pick from OKC or San Antonio? Or maybe Detroit? I'll go with San Antonio. Why not? A future first rounder from San Antonio. That'll get the job done. They could use him too. Before we get to free agency though, yeah, these players, I gotta clear the cap holds for everybody because some of these players should not be making the amount that they're making at all. Avery Bradley, bro. He definitely gotta go, but yeah, I'm clearing the cap holds for everybody. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Yeah, everybody gotta go. At the end of the moratorium period, we get Diallo, a nice young center, Daniel Tice, only 29 years old, and two vets in Wesley Matthews, who could help develop my son Kevin Porter Jr. at the shooting guard position, and Kyle Lowry. Now, this might draw some mixed reactions from you guys, but I feel like he's an 81 overall now, but I feel like by the player progression section of the offseason, his overall is going to drop, and I feel like he would be the perfect mentor. I mean, we didn't really have many vets since we did trade John Wall, but I feel like John Wall still has a lot in him. He could play the mentorship role, but I feel like he still has a lot to contribute to like a championship contending team, and the Grizzlies were a pretty good fit for him. But Kyle Lowry, I feel like he fits with this team. He can help us stay competitive, help mentor Jalen Suggs. I feel like it's a match made in heaven. And on top of that, everybody that I signed to one-year deals. Trust me, this is gonna work out, bro. Just trust me on this one. I mean, I don't really want to bring back Sterling Brown since we do have a bunch of small forwards now, so I'm gonna renounce his rights. We're bringing in Norvell Peel. Seeing him ball out for my New York Knicks. The dude is pretty good defender, and we're gonna bring in two young players in Melvin Frazier Jr. and Kenny Wooten on one-year deals as well. So free agency is basically over. Today's the final day, and a lot of players basically re-signed with their respective teams. The Knicks got Spencer Dinwiddie. After all that junk he be talking to my New York Knicks, bro, get out of here with that BS. That's unrealistic. And this too. Kawhi Leonard signed with the Detroit Pistons. 4-year deal. The Pistons are still in rebuild mode, but with Kawhi Leonard, obviously, is going to make them a lot better. That team is looking good. They look good. Killian Hayes, they drafted Cade Cunningham. Now they got Kawhi Leonard. They got a bunch of good role players. That Detroit Pistons team is going to be pretty interesting in the Eastern Conference. Player progression. I'm seeing some red. I'm not liking that. Okay, that's Kyle Lowry. But Christian Wood should not have went down by 2 points. Kevin Porter Jr. 78 overall now. That's what I want to see developing well. Kyle Lowry. I told you guys, bro. Y'all got to trust me. Trust in my process. Trust in my judgment. Kyle Lowry is going to be coming off the bench behind Jalen Suggs. Going to help mentor him. And Wesley Matthews, of course. Vet, his stats are going to go down. So we got a good mix of young guys, and then we got a few vets in there as well. Dylan Brooks, I'm surprised he didn't go up after last season, but listen, we're going to have a pretty good season this season, hopefully. It's going to be another rebuilding season, bro. Another development season. Listen, if we make it to the Summer League Finals, I'm playing that game. But anyways, I just drew a blank for a second. I don't know what I was thinking about. But anyways, simulating the first round, we made it to the second round. Okay. Facing off against the Boston Celtics. We're 3-1 in the Summer League. We make it to the next round. Facing off against the Detroit Pistons. Oh yeah, they should have Cade Cunningham. No wonder we get eliminated. Okay, that makes sense. Let me check the box score. So Kevin Porter Jr., Jalen Suggs, they're doing their thing. That's what I want to see. Kenny Wooten, Melvin Frazier Jr. is there. Kenyon Martin Jr. I was going to say Kmart. But a lot of our young guys are playing during the Summer League, so that's good. Melvin Frazier Jr. did his thing. Tate did his thing. Jalen Suggs. Okay, so our young guys got some good burn during the Summer League. And during this NBA season, they're going to get even more burn and a chance to develop, hone their skills. So the Detroit Pistons and Cade Cunningham's Summer League champs. Every time I get a chance to send somebody to training camp, always send them to perimeter defense. Those defensive stats for Kevin Porter Jr. definitely needs to improve. And Kenyon Martin Jr., yeah, those stats need to improve as well. So every year I'm sending them to perimeter defense. And the offseason has come and the offseason has gone. So let's take a look at this roster so far. Like I said, this is going to be another development season. I'm not going to be playing a lot of games this season, but I'll touch on that a little bit later on. But this roster isn't bad. A lot of good young players. A lot of players are going to get a chance to shine, and whoever shines the most this season, obviously I'm going to keep them around, and if you don't shine, then you got to go. But yeah, tell me what you guys think about this roster. Obviously, I'm not going to be playing a lot of games, but I really like the makeup of the team. Dylan Brooks coming off the bench, Kyle Lowry as well, and our starting lineup, I'm really liking it. Christian Wood, Kenyon Martin Jr., my son Tate, Kevin Porter Jr., and Jalen Suggs. Pretty good young guys to develop, and in my opinion, I feel like we're not going to make the postseason, but we might finish with like the 9th or 10th seed. If we do make the postseason, I feel like we might get the 8th seed at most, if that happens. But yeah, main scoring options, I have to make it Jalen Suggs, Kevin Porter Jr., and those are the two main players I'm really worried about. So this is going to be another development season, to say the least, but this season is going to let me know who I should keep and who I should get rid of. And in terms of the games that I'm going to play this season, I know some people get upset when I actually play through the games, but our first game is a nationally televised game against OKC, and I want to play that game. I'm going to play that game. I'm going to be using the 2K camera just to switch things up for this series, and I'm going to do a lot of different things with this series that I normally don't do in my series. So for a lot of you guys saying, yo, why don't you play with the 2K camera? I'm going to give it a shot. I'm gonna just give it a shot, see how it goes, and I just really want to play that first game, get that first game out of the way, and then after that, I might just play like one game every 2 months or so. But I want to constantly look at the development of my players, especially Jalen Suggs, Kevin Porter Jr. I just want to see what they're able to do as a unit. But yeah, our team is looking pretty good for the future. Not for this season, but for the future, we definitely look good. But yeah, leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell me what you guys think. Leave me a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We're dropping quality Mynba content out here. And oh yeah, click one of the playlists on the screen. Almost forgot about that part. But yeah, click one of the playlists on the screen. Check out some of the content. You know, my content is fire. I'll see you guys in the next episode. See you guys in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching. As always, it's the Prince of YouTube signing out.